Well, a months-long investigation by the Fox 5i team has explored outrageous water bills with phantom origins. And all of this has caught the attention of the Atlanta Utilities Committee after the City Appeals Board refused to adjust those bills. Dana Fowle says 2 city council members have strong words for what they consider to be a broken process. This is a wild story, Dana.
Yeah, and it's been an ongoing story for sure. One councilman who has been with the city more than 2 decades said, the denied appeals, that he wouldn't put up with it. He'd sue Atlanta's water department. He said that. Another committee member told us the Atlanta Water and Sewer Appeals Board is serving the city more than the taxpayer.
It's a system that often does not work well.
Atlanta City Councilman Howard Shook has been a city rep for more than 20 years. He's pushed for more consumer advocacy when consumers appeal their bills to appointed boards.
There's a major difference between turn-off and cut-off.
We sat down with the Buckhead representative to talk about cases with extraordinarily high water bills from the Atlanta Department of Watershed Management.
I have advocated for years that we need a customer bill of rights.
Newer to the job and the new Atlanta Utilities Committee Chair Antonio Lewis doesn't always see the appeals board working independently of the city, which, according to their landing page, is their marching order.
We have to look at the protocol of the board.
And here's why. In 2 cases brought before the board last year, both got extremely high water bills. East Lake retiree Jeffrey Williams told the Fox 5i team in 2022 his 2-person household, according to his water bill, used 3.8 years of water in just 4 months, coming to more than $12,000. Mr. Williams hired a plumber who said he didn't have a leak, but he did have a broken city water meter. Here's another case. Before this home was built, it was a vacant lot. Revive Construction bought it and requested a water meter, which was at the time tied into nothing. No pipes, no house. It sat capped on the sidewalk. But that empty lot, if you look at the water bill, was really thirsty. More than 1 million gallons of water, which no one could find or see, was registered as being used. That bill was for nearly $30,000.
I am going to have to rule there is no basis for an adjustment at this time.
In both cases, they appealed those charges and lost.
Now, the ruling of the board is that there's no basis.
But the vice chair of the Atlanta Utilities Committee saw both cases differently than the board. Here's what he said about the empty lot with no water line that said on paper it used the equivalent of 100 large swimming pools of water. If it were up to you, he would not pay that bill.
Correct. Because I would believe that there was some other explanation that simply hadn't been uncovered yet.
And it seems board member Roseanne Maltese had misgivings too. She asks, in this exchange with Spencer Peck, an attorney representing the city, how to proceed.
Does the city code, allow the board to look at any kinds of extenuating situations and address them? Or extenuating circumstances that might impact the situation?
What I understand you to be asking, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you believe that this situation isn't covered by the existing provisions of the code and you're looking for authority to grant an adjustment?
That would be the plan.
Then my answer has to be no. The board is bound by the terms of the code and must comply with them.
But what code? When we asked the city to explain, we were sent a link to a large catalog of city codes. We ask again, what specifically is he referring to? Neither Mr. Peck nor the city would tell us.
If she and a majority of the committee had voted yes, it would have been a different outcome.
Could she have done that? Did she have to do what this guy said?
No.
She could have done what she wanted.
Yeah.
The councilman from the city's southeast side, Mr. Lewis, said these results simply don't make sense.
It has to be a training issue. We need to look at the training that our board members are getting.
You know, we've tried repeatedly to talk directly to the appeals board members. We've asked for some time now for their contact information, their city email addresses, and they simply will not send them to us. We did track one down, and we were not answered by the actual appeals board member, but rather the city attorney who declined the request on behalf of the appeals board member.
It's disappointing that they, we haven't heard back, right?
It's very disappointing.
And even that the committee that keeps an eye on the process and how all of this works is siding with the consumer, right? So,
I mean,
so what happens
Mr.
now?
Williams, that's the man who had the broken city water meter. He's taking them to court. He has a March court date, and we're going to be there. The empty lot case, we're still waiting to hear their next steps.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens, with that court case.
Yeah, I would like to hear, be in those seats when a judge hears this and determines what the facts are.
Yeah, so interesting, Dana.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update.